Welcome back to Indianapolis Colts Syndicate. In this video, we're going to be recapping practice 3 on day 4 of training camp. Saturday night's practice was kind of overshadowed by Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay meeting in his bus, and then Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade. An update on that situation from last night's videos that Jim Irsay came out and said that they are not trading Jonathan Taylor. They will not be accommodating his request to be traded. So he will be a Colt in 2024, whether he plays or not. That's still yet to be seen. But right now, as it sits, Jonathan Taylor will be on the Colts in 2023. Okay, but moving past that, what happened on the field at Saturday night's practice? The guys that weren't involved were Julian Blackmon and Juju Brents, both out again. Samson Ebukam also out. The three of those guys are nursing hamstring injuries. Then you have Darius Rush and Jake Witt that have both sat out of this practice. Okay, and just like we always do, we're going to start with the quarterbacks here, where Anthony Richardson actually started the day with the starters. It was a 6-play period, and they were working on third down. Saturday's practice was about all third down. They had worked on first and second down. Today it was third down. And again, Anthony Richardson had the first 6 plays with the starter. Then Gardner Minshew was with the starters the rest of the way. Anthony Richardson was with the second team the rest of the way. And so far through 3 practices, Minshew has 29 starting reps compared to 21 for Anthony Richardson. And on this Saturday night practice, Minshew was 13 of 17, including a perfect 5 of 5 in the final team period of practice, which comes after he completed his final 6 passes of Friday's practice. And so far through 3 practices, Minshew is 24 of 31, which is 74%. So you can look at that and say either Minshew is lighting it up with our receivers or our defense is getting cooked, which, at this point, you have 2 rookie cornerbacks that aren't on the field due to injury, and those are the guys that are going to be starting for the Colts. So it's no real surprise that right now the Colts defense is getting lit up on the outside. Right, then you look at Richardson and what he did in practice. He was 9 of 15, including going 5 of 6 in the opening period with the starters. A lot of people are talking about one of the deep balls that Anthony Richardson had down the sideline to Kylen Granson, fitted into a tight window, and then Kylen Granson, of course, because he always does, sure hands, makes the catch on the sideline. And that was enough to even get a fist bump from Shane Steichen. All right, through 3 practices, Anthony Richardson is 14 of 22, which is 63%. That's a 10% jump from his college number that everybody's been talking about. So we'll take that. Continuous improvement is what we're looking for. And as he gets better, hopefully these numbers continue to get better and better. All right, so going into week 2, the next practice for the Colts on Monday is going to be the first padded practice. This is where they start to get more physical. The intensity starts to ramp up. And whoever is taking the starting reps in week 2, that's going to be our indication of who do we think is going to be starting the season as a starter for the Colts. Now, in Saturday's practice, we finally got some one-on-ones, wide receivers versus cornerbacks. And the highlight of the whole thing was when Michael Pittman Jr. and Kenny Moore were going against each other. That happened twice, both of them winning 1 rep apiece. Then later in 7-on-7 work, they went at it once again. Kenny Moore had the pass breakup. So out of the 3 reps they had against each other, Kenny Moore 2 of 3, which is really, really good news. I keep talking about Kenny Moore every single training camp video, and I hope I talk about him every single training camp video. If he keeps making plays, that's great news. He's supposed to be the leader of that secondary, and the fact that he's showing out right now early in training camp, that is exactly what I was hoping to hear this year. Another guy showing out early in training camp is Shaq Leonard. Another guy we were hoping was going to be good to go. And from all sounds, it sounds like Shaq is Shaq. Sounds like he's getting all the work with the starters. He's not backing off at all. This upcoming week is going to be really important. Before training camp started, Chris Ballard said that Shaq Leonard was not cleared for contact. So coming up with pads on, this is going to be a big week. We're going to see just how far along is Shaquille Leonard. And if he can make full contact right away on Monday, then Shaq is Shaq, and Shaq is back, and the league is going to be on notice. And one of the biggest things to come out of this practice was actually from the special teams. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigo Sanchez is officially back. All right, one of the loudest cheers of the night came from Colts players reacting to Rigo Sanchez's first punt during team drills since tearing his Achilles last August in training camp. Sanchez sent an absolute bomb down the field about 70 yards in his first punt. I mean, his first punt in almost a year goes 70 yards. Rigo, we've missed you, buddy. We've wanted you back. It's going to be so good to have him back. With turnstile we've had at punter over the last couple of years between his cancer diagnosis and then the Achilles tear last year, it's going to be really nice to have Rigo back as the punter, not only to be on the field in what he provides on the field, but the person that Rigo is. It's going to be great to have him back both on the field and in the locker room, right? So to finish things off here, we're going to run down what the starting offense and starting defense look like on Saturday. Now, this isn't necessarily an indication of who's going to start the season because, of course, Anthony Richardson started practice with the starters. Gardner Minshew finished practice with the starters. Okay, so the starting offense on Saturday evening was Anthony Richardson, Zach Moss, Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Isaiah McKenzie as slot receiver, Mo Alley Cox as starting tight end, then Bernard Raymond, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries at right guard, and Braden Smith. The starting defense on Saturday night's practice was Dio Dangbo at defensive end, Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner in the middle, Kwity Paye on the other end. Then you have Zaire Franklin, Shaq Leonard, and EJ Speed taking up the linebacker positions. And with Juju Brents and Darius Rush both out with their own injuries, Kenny Moore and Dallas Flowers were the starting corners. And that's a name people need to look at. Dallas Flowers, he's been a returner for the Colts before. He's taken some reps at corner last year. He had 14 tackles, but he didn't play a whole lot. But there are people in the building saying that Dallas Flowers could end up being one of the best guys in this room by the end of the year. They think he's immensely talented. He's got the size. He's got the athleticism. Dallas Flowers, if you haven't paid much attention to the Colts secondary because there's so many new names, so many young guys, Dallas Flowers, along with Juju Brents and Darius Rush, is a name that people should be watching out for. Okay, and finishing off the starting defense on Saturday was Rodney Thomas at free safety, Nick Cross at starting strong safety. Now, again, both offense and defense, anything could change from now to the time we get to week one. And we're going to keep monitoring this. We're going to keep updating everybody day after day as practices happen on what is going on with the team. The next practice, again, is the first padded practice on Monday, July 31st. And I will have an update for you. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you can stay up to date on all Colts content. I'll see you for the next video.